Hi everybody, Mrs. Lee here. Welcome to my how-to video. This is a really quick video to show you how to tune your string instrument. There are several things you can use to help tune your instrument. There are free tuning apps you or your parents can download on your phone or devices. Many of you have electric tuners, or you could do it the old-fashioned way by just sitting at the piano. That's how I do it. I'm old school. You can also go to your Essential Elements book, and on pages 2 and 3, you could use those pages for reference. Okay, so there's two ways to tune your instrument. You have the tuning pegs, which are up here, and you have the fine tuners, which are located down here, okay? The tuning pegs are used when your instrument is greatly out of tune. It's really, really sharp, meaning it's really, really high, the pitch is high, or it's really, really flat, meaning the pitch is really, really low. The fine tuners they are used if your instrument is just slightly out of tune. It's slightly sharp, which is high, or slightly flat, which is low. My violin only has one tuning peg because when you get into a full-size instrument, you don't need all 4 of them. But your instrument should have tuning pegs, and they are helpful when your instrument is just a tiny bit out of tune. All right, now, this is the dangerous part. So I'm going to ask you to have your mom or dad help you with this, okay? These pegs are wooden, and they stick by turning and pushing the pegs into the tuning box right over here, okay? You do not want to turn it quickly or vigorously, because if you do that, you will snap the string. So I'm going to show you how to turn these pegs gently so you do not break a string. You're going to turn the peg to the right to tighten it so the pitch goes up, and you turn it to the left to loosen it so the pitch goes down, okay? Are you with me so far? I always wanted to be like an anchor woman on like Jane Pauley on the Today Show, and I'm finding I don't think I would be a good candidate for that. Anyway, okay, back to tuning. So we're going to see if my violin is out of tune. Now, I always start and I tune to an A, okay? So I'm going to hear the A on my piano, and then I'll tune my A, yuck. So this is not in tune, okay? So what you want to do is you want to match this pitch as close to the A as you possibly can. So when I'm tuning using my peg, I'm going to show you, I turn it literally millimeter by millimeter. You don't want to turn it too much because, again, you're going to snap the string. So what I do, I barely turned it. I barely turned the peg, okay? So let's see how. Now, when you're plucking the string like this, you're not going to get a very accurate match, but as long as you get it close enough, that's all that counts. Okay? So we'll say that's close enough. Then we go to our D. Here's the D. Okay? It sounds a little flat to me. So what I'm going to do, so let's try matching the pitch again. Close enough. Then we'll go to our G. Not in tune. Flat. So again, I'm going to turn the peg oh so slowly. And then we'll match it. Okay? And last but not least, my E. That's the pitch I want to match. So I'm going to take my peg barely moved it. Okay, now since I'm close to the pitch, I'm going to now go to my fine tuner here and turn it to the right a little bit. Okay, and it just made it that much higher so I don't have to use the peg. Okay, and then close enough. Okay, again, when you're turning the pegs, you want to push and turn into the tuning box right here. And again, when I say it's millimeter by millimeter, that's what it is. If you turn it too much, something disastrous can happen, okay? On a cello, it's a little easier just because the pegs and the strings are bigger. So here's my A. This sounds too high now, so I want to bring it, that would be my furnace. I want to bring it down. And again, I barely moved it. I barely moved the peg. You don't have to move it that much. Now here's my D. Again, it's too high. So I'm going to bring it down. If you could maybe see. Again, barely. Now this one's not sticking, okay? It popped out of tune because when I tuned it, I loosened it and it popped right out. So you just, okay? The weather plays a huge role in the humidity. When it's humid and when it's warm out or hot, the pegs stick and they're really hard to tune. When it's winter and it's cold and dry, the pegs don't stay in place. The wood kind of shrinks and they can slip out of tune really, really easily. So room temperature plays a huge part in keeping your instrument in tune. So let's see, we have A, D, this is my G. It's like totally loose. So we can bring this up. And if you're brave enough, you can turn and pluck the string as you're doing it so you can hear the pitch go up. Okay? And match it. And then finally your C string. Too high. Now this I could actually use the fine tuner for. Okay, so now we have my D. Seems a little flat, so I'm going to bring it up just like that. Okay, so it's a lot of trial and error. It's making gradual turns very gently, and practice makes perfect. So the more you work at tuning, the better you'll get at it. If you do break a string, please email me, let me know, and we can work on maybe I could make a how to change your string video. It's really not that complicated actually. So if I can do it, anyone can do it. So happy tuning, happy practicing, and please let me know if you have any questions or comments. And keep sparkling on. Take care.